Welcome back to our channel, soap opera lovers. Today is a fantastic, beautiful day to dive deep into the scandalous, ever-twisting world of Genoa City. Grab your favorite cup of coffee, settle into your absolute coziest spot, and let us unpack the latest explosive drama together. We have some truly jaw-dropping moments to discuss today, so let us get right into the thick of it. There is a very specific kind of danger that comes from backing a wild animal into a corner, and right now, Genoa City is filled with cornered animals ready to bare their teeth. If you thought the corporate warfare and romantic betrayals had reached their absolute peak, you are in for a massive shock. Alliances that have stood the test of time for decades are crumbling into dust. And the thirst for vengeance is driving some of our favorite characters to make the most reckless decisions of their entire lives. We are witnessing the absolute destruction of loyalty, and it is playing out in the most dramatic, heartbreaking ways imaginable. Let us start with the absolute powerhouse of chaos herself, Phyllis Summers. We all know that Phyllis has been walking a terrifying tightrope lately. She is currently facing the very real, very terrifying threat of federal prison. Victor Newman, in all his ruthless glory, has utilized a highly advanced artificial intelligence program to fabricate a mountain of damning corporate evidence against her. This AI-generated evidence makes it look like Phyllis committed massive corporate fraud to steal the Summers conglomerate. With her lifelong nemesis Christine Blair Romalotti back in the prosecutor's chair, the walls are closing in on Phyllis faster than ever before. She is suffocating under the weight of Victor's master plan, and in her desperation, she turned to the one man she thought could save her, Michael Baldwin. Phyllis hired Michael to protect her and her company from Victor's hostile takeover attempt. On paper, it makes sense. Michael is a brilliant legal mind and her dearest friend. But in reality, this was a ticking time bomb. Michael has a massive, complicated, and deeply entrenched history as Victor Newman's primary legal fixer. The conflict of interest is glaring, and the tension has finally snapped. In a scene dripping with frustration and unspoken secrets, Phyllis decides to pull the plug on their professional relationship. She looks at the man who has helped her bury countless skeletons over the years and coldly delivers the blow, "You're fired." The reaction from Michael is nothing short of cinematic perfection. He does not yell. He does not throw his briefcase. Instead, he lets out a long, heavy sigh of pure exhaustion and sarcastically replies, "Again, it is a brilliant callback to their tumultuous history." But Phyllis doubles down, her voice devoid of its usual fiery passion, replacing it with a chilling corporate detachment. "We no longer require your services," she insists. But Michael Baldwin is no fool. He has known Phyllis Summers for far too long to buy into this sudden stoicism. He knows her tells. He knows when she is deflecting, and he knows when she is hiding something massive. He looks her dead in the eye and asks the million-dollar question, "What are you plotting?" Michael knows that Phyllis would only fire her best defense attorney if she had a secret, highly illegal, or incredibly dangerous backup plan that she knew he would never approve of. And we, the audience, know exactly what that plan entails. Phyllis has been secretly harboring a severely amnesiac Matt Clark, hoping to use him as the ultimate bargaining chip against the Newman family. She knows Michael would drag her to the police station himself if he found out she was holding a dangerous psychopath hostage in a hotel suite. She is pushing Michael away to clear the board for her own twisted game of chess, completely unaware that her prized pawn, Matt Clark, has just mysteriously vanished from his room. Honestly, watching Phyllis right now is like watching a spectacular train wreck in slow motion. You want to look away, but you simply cannot. My personal commentary on Phyllis in this exact moment is a mixture of profound pity and absolute frustration. She is her own worst enemy. Every single time she is offered a lifeline, she sets it on fire just to see the flames. She is so consumed by her hatred for Victor and her desperate need to win that she is alienating the only person in Genoa City who genuinely wants to keep her out of a prison cell. Phyllis thinks she is the smartest person in the room, playing a grand game of manipulation with Matt Clark. But she is completely blind to the fact that her hubris is leading her straight off a cliff. On the other side of that desk, I have to hand it to Michael Baldwin. The man has the patience of an absolute saint when it comes to Phyllis. My honest take on Michael is that he is trapped in a toxic friendship loop that he cannot escape because his heart is just too big. He knows Victor is playing dirty with this evidence, and he genuinely wants to protect Phyllis from a rigged justice system. But he also knows that Phyllis is a loose cannon who refuses to follow legal advice. His sarcastic again is the sound of a man who is deeply tired of trying to save a woman who insists on drowning. He is a brilliant lawyer reduced to a babysitter, and you can see the genuine fear in his eyes when he asks what she is plotting. He knows her well enough to know that whatever she does next will likely destroy her. While Phyllis and Michael are burning their professional bridges, an equally intense and heartbreaking confrontation is taking place over at the Abbott estate. The tension between Jack Abbott and his son, Carl, has reached a boiling point. To understand the gravity of this moment, we have to look back at the sheer psychological trauma Jack has recently endured. Victor Newman crossed a massive, unforgivable line when he used the highly unstable Patty Williams to drug Jack, throw him onto a yacht, and orchestrate a scenario that completely blew up Jack's marriage to Diane Jenkins Abbott. Jack was humiliated, violated, and left to watch his wife walk away in disgust. Now, Jack is burning with a righteous, all-consuming fury. He wants Victor to pay for what he did, and he wants him to pay in the most painful way possible. Jack is seriously considering utilizing the exact same weapon Victor used against him, Patty Williams. Jack knows that Patty is a chaotic, dangerous force of nature, but his desire for revenge is blinding his better judgment. He wants to unleash Patty on Victor, creating a nuclear option that will tear Victor's life apart, but this reckless thirst for vengeance is terrifying his son. Kyle approaches his father with a look of pure, unadulterated panic and asks, "You're not still going to use Patty to get back at Victor, are you?" Kyle has every reason to be terrified. Diane has just left a softening, hopeful voicemail for Jack. There is a tiny, fragile glimmer of hope that Jack and Diane can actually mend their fractured marriage and put their family back together. Kyle knows that if Jack brings Patty Williams back into their orbit, even as a pawn against Victor, Diane will completely shut the door on their marriage forever. Diane despises Patty, and the mere thought of Jack associating with her voluntarily will be the final nail in the coffin. Kyle is desperately trying to be the voice of reason, begging his father to step back from the ledge and prioritize his marriage over his bruised ego. My honest commentary on Jack Abbott right now is that he is acting like an absolute fool, blinded by his own toxic pride. I understand his anger. What Victor did to him was despicable. But Jack is supposed to be the smarter, more emotionally mature patriarch. By even entertaining the idea of using a severely mentally ill woman like Patty Williams to exact revenge, Jack is stooping to Victor's level and risking the one thing he claims to want most, Diane. Jack's obsession with beating Victor is a dangerous addiction. He is willing to gamble his entire family's happiness just to score a point against his lifelong rival, and it is incredibly disappointing to watch him throw away his moral compass. Kyle, on the other hand, is emerging as the unexpected hero of this storyline. My personal take on Kyle is that he has grown up so much in recent years. He is no longer the spoiled, entitled or playing corporate games. He is a desperate son trying to hold his parents' lives together. Kyle is stepping directly into the crossfire, willing to challenge his powerful father to protect his mother's fragile heart. The sheer desperation in his voice when he confronts Jack shows how much he loves his family. In fact, Kyle is so desperate to keep Jack away from Patty that he is even considering taking over the revenge plot himself, offering to manage Patty so Jack does not have to get his hands dirty. So, what is going to happen next in this tangled web of secrets and revenge? Here is my official prediction. Phyllis is going to realize very quickly that firing Michael was a catastrophic mistake. When she returns to her hotel suite to check on her secret weapon, Matt Clark, she is going to find the room completely empty. We know that Patty Williams has already bribed a maid and rescued Matt, but Phyllis does not know that yet. When Phyllis discovers that Matt is gone, she is going to experience a full-blown panic attack. She will have no leverage against Victor, no lawyer to protect her, and a very angry Christine Blair Romalotti waiting with a pair of handcuffs. Phyllis will be forced to go on a frantic, dangerous manhunt through Genoa City to find Matt before Victor does, leading to a massive, explosive confrontation. As for the Abbott family, my prediction is that Jack will ultimately realize Kyle is right. Jack will reluctantly agree to drop his plan to use Patty against Victor, choosing to focus entirely on winning Diane back. However, the damage has already been done. Kyle, wanting to ensure Victor still pays for his crimes, will secretly attempt to take over the Patty Williams operation himself. Kyle will try to manipulate Patty, thinking he can control her better than Jack could, but this will backfire spectacularly. Patty is obsessed with Jack, and she is incredibly unpredictable. When Patty realizes that Kyle is trying to use her, and that Jack has rejected her once again, her fragile mind will completely snap. Patty will turn her dangerous obsession toward Kyle and Diane, putting the entire Abbott family in terrifying, life-threatening peril. The stage is set for some of the most intense, heart-stopping episodes we have seen in years, and you will not want to miss a single second of the fallout. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, share this article with your fellow YNR addicts, and let me know immediately whose side you're on in this epic war for Genoa City.